USC Super Regionals presented by Capital One. This afternoon in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, UNC will look to keep their season alive in front of their home fans as the USC Trojans look to end a 25-year Omaha drought by taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Here's what happened yesterday. North Carolina had a 5-1 lead going to the 6th. It was 5-2 at this point. Dean Carpentier, the number 8 hitter, with a grand slam to turn the scoreboard around and give USC the lead. And Drew Johnson shut the door out of the bullpen for the Trojans as they flip the script on North Carolina and win 9-5. Putting them one win from Omaha. You see where our bracket stands right now. West Virginia looks like they are on their way to their first ever College World Series bid as they lead Cal Poly, getting late in that game. And we welcome you inside our broadcast booth here at Boshamer Stadium on the campus of the University of North Carolina with Gabby Sanchez. I'm Mike Farron. Boy, that one flipped quickly yesterday, didn't it?
It was kind of like a tale of two tapes. You had UNC, they dominated the first half of the game. USC, they dominated the second half. And it's going to be a good one because it's very similar teams on the mound and defensively.
Yeah, and for North Carolina, they have Mr. Dependable going, and Jason DeCaro. He's been the anchor of their rotation the last 3 years.
Yeah, he's been the Friday night starter for the Tar Heels since his freshman year where he was doing it as a 17-year-old. He's had a great season, 10-2. Now he's coming off of 2 back-to-back rough outings, seeing if he can get that bounce back to give the Tar Heels one more game.
See DeCaro there. The last 2 starts have been rough, but he looked loose this morning, was out in shorts and a t-shirt, hanging around with his teammates well before the game. For USC, we spent a lot of time yesterday talking about Mason Edwards, the Big Ten pitcher of the year. The thing is that they have a 2-headed monster in the rotation. And Grant Covell, the sophomore who goes today, has been outstanding.
Yeah, been really outstanding. And talk about a performance of what he was able to do in regionals, where he pitched on Friday going 5 2/3, comes back 3 days later on Monday against Texas A&M, going 4 innings. He threw 153 pitches in those 2 games of regionals.
Well, USC is going to ride their pitching as they try to get back to where they feel like they belong. It's been 25 years since the most decorated college baseball program ever has set foot in Omaha. They can do it today with a win. The USC Trojans trying to get back to the promised land. The Tar Heels trying to extend their season. Lineups, first pitch, and play-by-play from Chapel Hill next. NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Fans lining up out on Ridge Road as the tailgate going on outside the ballpark here at Boshamer Stadium. And this is the lineup that the North Carolina Tar Heels, the visitors in this game too, will put out. Eric Paulson's had a tremendous tournament, but there are a couple of changes to their lineup against a righty. Yeah,
one of the biggest differences, Ron Kelly's, he's going to be entering the ballgame. Usually he doesn't hit against right-handed pitchers. They use him for lefties. They also moved Cooper Nicholson down in the lineup, moved Colin Heineck up in the lineup because of the recent struggles for Cooper Nicholson.
And Grant Govell will get the start for the Trojans, the first team all Big Ten performer, the sophomore right-hander, tasked with trying to get them to Omaha today.
What's going to be interesting with Govell, actually reverse splits. Righties fare better against him than lefties do. He has a really good changeup that he likes to throw against lefties.
The first pitch of game 2 of Super Regionals is outside to Jake Schaffner on the corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Schaffner to get things going. For North Carolina, the transfer from North Dakota State. He takes to the count 1-1. Until we're excited because we're already jumping before the umpire tells us what the pitch is. 1-1 the count to Schaffner. He's had a terrific year. And he drives that one to center field. Going back on it is Walter Urban, who makes the catch in the alley in left center for out number 1. One away here at the top of the first for North Carolina, and their head coach Scott Forbes in his 6th season. Do you think he was loose before the game?
Yeah, I mean, looser than I feel like any head coach would be, knowing that, hey, this could be the last. But when you know your guys and your team and who you have on the mound, very loose and like, hey, it's just another game. We got to go out.
Yeah, I mean, he also was right as Gavin Gallagher stands in. It's not like North Carolina played poorly yesterday, right? He goes to his relief ace in a big spot. He hangs a slider.
Yep. It was a backup slider. He said he hit it, and, you know, credit to their hitter who hadn't hit a grand slam in Carpentier the whole entire season and hits one in that moment.
The 1-0 to Gallagher, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there. It's 1-1.
But you also have to trust in your guys, too, and that's what I feel like the biggest thing for Scott Forbes is. Trusting in his team and understanding they've been in these kind of situations before, and they've been able to excel.
I saw Walker McDuffie there, the relief ace who gave up the grand slam yesterday. It was a rare rough outing for him this season. He's been consistently good. Now North Carolina has their backs against the wall. This is a team, Gabby, that won their last 9 ACC series. They dropped the first 2 games of that series against Virginia in the opening weekend of conference play, then rallied to win the finale. After that, they were pretty dominant. Grounded to the left side, backhanded, stopped by Carpentier, and he cannot get a handle on it. It's an infield single for Gallagher. That'll bring up Owen Hall. Hall has been one of the best performers for North Carolina, first team all ACC selection. The transfer from George Mason, who has just a tantalizing prospect with his tools.
Just a really good hitter, quick, short, to the ball. He has been starting to show off the power as well as the season has gotten deeper. So once it started to get a little bit hotter, so has that bat with the power.
First pitch to Hall, liner to left center, and racing over and making the sliding catch is Andrew Lamb for out number 2. He was hit hard.
This ball,
on Lamb?
Yeah, I mean, it was hit extremely hard. 106 miles an hour line drive on the bat, off the bat. It looks like he just got there, just kind of made a sliding grab to get it. Ball started maybe a little top spin, started coming down on him, so you have to try to get underneath it. UNC is trying to do something that, you know, no other team has been able to do in the last 5 starts against Cabal, which is get a first inning run.
First, and Gallagher back standing, Macon Winslow. This is one of the bats that they need to get going in the North Carolina lineup. Transfer from Duke, DHing again, a catcher by trade. And he takes a strike, it's 0-1. See the breeze blowing in slightly from center field, actually more than slightly.
Steady.
Steady, I like that.
With Gavell on the mound, I guarantee you that he's looked back at that too and said, okay, like you can make some a little bit mistakes because it's not going to be easy to hit a home run in this park. And this park usually does play big when that wind is blowing in.
Outside, the count 1-1. Her a modest lead from first, and Winslow can't hold up. They count 1-2. Fans didn't like it, but it sure looked like he swung.
Yeah, it looked like he went around on that one.
There's a lot more edge and energy to this crowd early on than there was a day ago. Understandable, the season on the line for North Carolina today. Their offense really got going early in that game against Mason Edwards. They did a great job. They forced the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year out after 3 innings. Eric Paulson waiting on deck, hoping for a chance here in the first. Winslow takes strike 3 at the bottom of the zone, and the inning is over. A scoreless first for Grant Gavell as he paints at the bottom of the zone to get out number 3.
Yeah, big time pitch, fastball, 91 miles an hour, bottom of the zone, strike 3. Winslow didn't like it. To the bottom of the first.
Baseball.com this week, they had opposing coaches talking about lineup construction. And for USC, in Aaron Fitt's article, they said the bottom of the lineup you can pitch to. That hasn't been the case for the Trojans of the postseason this year.
They've absolutely been crushing baseballs on the bottom of the lineup. And that's what makes it tough when you face a team like the USC Trojans, when 7, 8, and 9 have been doing those type of numbers.
Andy Stankiewicz, the 4th-year head coach at USC, former big league infielder. That's what's on the line for USC today, looking for their first trip to Omaha in 25 years. And they will have to do it against one of the top pitchers in the ACC the last 3 years, Jason DeCaro, making what will be his final start at the Bosch.
He's been absolutely fantastic since his freshman year. He has been the Friday night starter, thrust into that spot because of injuries, but still here at UNC being a Friday night starter. By the way, he was 17 years old when he was doing that in his freshman year. I mean, you look at the numbers this year, a 2.54 ERA. There's a lot of strikeouts in his game. Great command of all 4 of his pitches.
It's more poise than anything, right? He's just a pitch maker, it feels like.
He knows how to throw a baseball on the mound. And he will spot the corners. He will go from corner to corner. He can pitch on all 4 quadrants. He's able to utilize his curveball. He's able to have that slider working away from the righties. Just a very good pitcher.
And with the wind blowing in, not a bad day for a fly ball pitcher either, as it started to shift from right to left. Abri Covarrubias, the leadoff man, the second baseman for USC, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Covarrubias, the glue that holds this USC team together. The pitch. Fouled back. It's 0-2. The power came on in the second half of the season for USC. Nearly 2 home runs a game over their last 29. And it has really shown up offensively in the postseason. Breaking ball hammered down the left field line, hooking in the ball was up a little bit, and he hit it hard.
That's one of the things that we have seen with this USC Trojan team. If you hang a breaking ball, they didn't miss yesterday, and it's starting off with they're really not missing here today. You got to be able to execute your pitch.
Ruby is taking his time, digging back in. A little more muggy than it was a day ago. The sun fighting with some clouds this afternoon. Here's the 0-2. And a roller to the left side. Schaffner has it and will throw out Covarrubias for out number 1. Yesterday, USC's offense did not have an answer for Ryan Lynch in the first part of the game and then took over in the second. That's exactly what they did over the course of this season. First half of the year, things didn't go so well offensively. That was the big question with them. And then offensively, they have been much, much better over their last 29.
Well, it's about making adjustments, and we saw the adjustments being made in yesterday's ball game. And you're right. When Ryan Lynch was up there, he was filthy. He was working side to side, and one of the biggest things they said, they got to get it up. And Andy Stankiewicz, he told us during the coaches interview, got to get him up in the zone. We got to be able to put pressure on. It's exactly what they did, and then one swing of the bat, all of a sudden they grabbed the lead and didn't relinquish it.
Yeah, it was Covarrubias, Lopez, Adrian Lopez, and Augie Lopez, all with base hits that started that rally in the 6th inning that led to USC's comeback win. And then they salted it away with some small ball, right? Aggressive base running, took advantage of a miscue defensively from North Carolina, the safety squeeze, those things that are part of Andy Stankiewicz's offensive game plan with Trent Jewett. And it was executed to near perfection of the second half of the game for USC. Bouncer foul, it's 2-1.
Yeah, and we talk about the bottom of the lineup, what they've been able to do. You know, Lamb, Carpentier, Urban in yesterday's ballgame. Lamb hit a huge home run. He also had a sac punt that ended up scoring the run with first and third on that safety squeeze. That's what he told us he's going to do. Andy Stankiewicz told us, bottom of the lineup, those guys are my bunters, my movers, getting guys over, getting guys in.
Adrian Lopez takes a strike, the count to a 2. But this is the part of the lineup where there's power. And there are 4 guys with double-digit home runs, including Lopez, Adrian Lopez, that is. He is a transfer from Long Beach State, and he waits. Down low, and the count is full. Looked like DeCarroll wanted that one, but just missed the zone.
Yeah, I think it was just about a ball down in the zone. As a pitcher, yeah, you want this one because you know if you're able to get that pitch as a strike, it's going to be a good day for you. But yeah, that ball definitely down off the plate.
3-2 the count to Adrian Lopez. No score last of the first. And a liner over a leaping Schaffner into left field, a base hit. First baseman aboard with 1 out for the Trojans here in the first.
And DeCarroll tried to go basically right back to that spot. Fastball down in the zone, and as a hitter, you just finished taking one down for a ball, and you're telling yourself, you know what, if he goes back down there again, I might have to swing it. I got 1, I probably won't get 2, so swings the bat, hits it hard over the head of Schaffner.
The development of Augie Lopez as a power threat has been a big story for USC this year. 19 home runs to lead the team. As he takes a strike, it's 0-1. Lopez was an all Big Ten freshman a season ago. Had an outstanding regional in College Station, winning the MOP. The 0-1. And the count 0-2. DeCarroll working ahead in the count here, and that's really been the key for him. And it'll be interesting to see how USC's hitters adjust as this goes on. The 0-2. In the dirt. 1-2 to Lopez.
When you take a look at the UNC defense, too, there's nobody on that left side of the field.
Toss to first to the runner back. Yeah, I'm not guessing that Augie Lopez is going to shorten up and punch one the other way.
I mean, this is basically saying we're going to give you a base hit to third base if you want to try to go ahead and stay inside of a pitch. But this is where the power is.
The 1-2. And the count evens 2-2.
How about Augie Lopez, too? Before 2 strikes, he's very open with his stance. Gets there, and then there's a lot more movement. With 2 strikes, what does he do? He squares up. 2-strike approach, just trying to be nice and easy to the baseball.
2-2 gets jammed and pops it up. And making the grab is the shortstop Schaffner for out number 2.
So look at Augie Lopez here. This is before 2 strikes. You see how he's open? Everything is kind of just, I'm looking at you, and then I'm gathering myself as I go swing. Not with 2 strikes. No, I'm already going to close myself off. I'm going to limit my movement and try to be short and quick to the baseball.
2 outs, man at first for Kevin Takeuchi. San Diego area native takes outside 1-0 from Rancho Bernardino High School. Didn't start getting recruited until he was going into his senior year in high school. He is a really important player for USC with his versatility. And he swings and pops it up. Paulson, the first baseman in the coach's box, makes the catch. And DeCaro posts a 0 in the first for North Carolina. To the second, no score. USC can go to Omaha with a win. Here, the DC Defenders take on the Orlando Storm Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC, and stream the game live on the ESPN app. Postseason excitement here in the Triangle. North Carolina and USC scoreless, second inning, game 2 of the Super Regional. UNC needing a win to keep their hopes of a return trip to the Men's College World Series alive. It would be their second in 3 years. Southern Cal has not been there since 2001. And I don't think we can say that enough, because it is stunning that it has been 25 years since we've had a Men's College World Series without USC. Trying to join the greatest show on dirt. Paulson, the most outstanding player in the Chapel Hill Regional, takes a ball inside, 2-1. Great work by Ryan McGee of ESPN on telling Paulson's story last week. He lost his father at a young age, who was a cop in New York in 9/11, and a great diving catch by Jack Bessier for the first out here in the second.
Now Paulson hits this ball, a lot of top spin. Gets on top of it. You can see the ball really starting to dive down, and Basir able to come in. It was a quick first step, making the dive and making the play.
Leadoff man gone in the North Carolina second. First pitch misses into Colin Heineck, as Gabby mentioned at the outset. Heineck moved up in the lineup to the 6th hole. They flipped him and Cooper Nicholson, Nicholson's been their best power threat this year, but he's really been scuffling at the plate here.
Yeah, he's been scuffling. Usually he's a guy that, will take walks, will get his hit by pitches. Doesn't really strike out all that much. And for Nicholson, I mean, it was 9 strikeouts, no walks. So they decided, you know what, take some pressure off, move him a little bit to the bottom of the lineup. Now you also have some power in that bottom of the lineup when guys are able to get on.
Heineck shows the power deep to left field. It's 1-0 North Carolina. Number 9 for the grad transfer from Georgia State, and the Tar Heels take the lead.
I'll tell you what, Heineck said, thanks for moving me up, coach. This is what I'm going to do. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. It's up and in. Heineck does a great job of getting his hands close and tight to his body, catches barrel, 101 miles an hour off the bat, 395 feet.
Tyler Howe, the freshman, sends it to left. And dancing underneath it, Andrew Lamb for out number 2.
And Scott Forbes pressing the right buttons, saying, you know what, Heineck? I'm going to flip you up there. You've been swinging the bat a lot better. It pays off.
A little smile on his face. Knows you're talking about him. 2 outs for Cooper Nicholson. Well, this is the other part of the flip in the lineup, and what the hope is you take some of the pressure off Nicholson with this too?
Here, basically, I mean, and I guarantee you that the way that Scott Forbes probably told him was, hey, look, I want you to be back in the lineup just a little bit, take a little bit of pressure off you, and just be you, right? Go up there and just play your style of baseball.
I mean, it seems weird to think, but like when you, not that you ever got moved down in the lineup, but like if it did happen, did it take pressure off you? Do you notice a difference as a hitter?
You know what? It does take a little bit of pressure off where you kind of stop thinking, right? Like the biggest thing for hitters is you overthink. And when things are struggling in one spot, sometimes it's nice to all of a sudden just get moved to a different spot in the lineup. You know, now things change a little bit in the dugout when you're getting ready, when you're coming in. You don't feel like you're rushed. Usually in the middle part of the lineup, it seems like you're always going to hit, right? You're always getting your stuff on or having at least ready. Now you're able to just take a deep breath.
Nicholson fouls it back. Battling here with 2 strikes. There's Jason DeCaro, who's been staked to a lead. It's not your starter that's just sitting there by himself on go day, is he? Hanging out with his teammates right in the thick of things as Nicholson's hit by a pitch.
That's one of the things, too, that Scott Forbes told us. He's like, usually he's a guy that goes up there and either walks or he gets hit by a pitch, and we haven't seen that. All of a sudden gets flipped to the lineup. First AB hitting that 8 spot and getting hit by a pitch.
The number 9 hitter, Ron Kellis, will bat, and this was the other difference in North Carolina's lineup. Normally Carter French, a left-handed hitter, has been playing in the corner outfield spot, but Kellis has been hot. And the reverse splits for Grant Cavell that you highlighted at the outset are pronounced. As Kellis swings and misses. Let me give this to you real quick. His left-handed hitters, the OPS against, 390. Righties, 698. It's 300 points higher against righties. It's still good, right? Really good against righties, but it is amazing how different it is.
I mean, it's 111 points higher in average, too, righties to lefties. So righties hitting 242, lefties hitting a measly 131.
The 1-1. Kellis launches it to left field. Lamb going back. He's at the fence, and he will haul it in. kissing up against the wall as Kellis just missed. But North Carolina gets the lead thanks to their catcher, Colin Hynek.
Oh, gets a fastball, boy, doesn't miss it. Crushes the ball to left for 101 miles an hour, giving UNC a 1-0 lead.
Jason DeCaro making what will likely be his last start ever at the Bosch. You see his career numbers coming into today. He has been very successful here in 3 years as a starter for North Carolina. He's got a 1-0 lead as Isaac Cadena hits. It's 1-0. Cadena, Basir, and Lamb. The home for Carolina baseball. We're somewhere right above that. Actually off to the side a little. As Cadena fouls it away 1-1. So there's a lot of Jason DeCaro stories. We do a lot of ACC games. We've had a lot of North Carolina. My favorite is still the one that the reason why he was 17 years old as a freshman is his parents accidentally enrolled him in kindergarten a year early. It wasn't like he was a guy that reclassified or tried to get to school early. No, his parents just put him in kindergarten a year early.
He was too smart. Teacher said he already knows his ABCs. We got to move him along here.
Needed to get him out of the house, I guess. Down and in, the count 3-1. He was 17 for most of his freshman year. His birthday's at the end of April. And that season, as Gabby mentioned, he started in the rotation as their Saturday starter. That one popped out into shallow left. Schaffner will give way to Ron Kellis, who makes the catch. And the leadoff man gone to start the USC second. But he was originally going to be the Sunday starter for North Carolina. Jake Knapp got hurt before the season started. Had to have Tommy John surgery. They slid everybody up. Folger Boaz moved to Friday. DeCaro moved to Saturday. And then Boaz got hurt. And the last half of the season, DeCaro was a Friday starter, including starting the opener in Omaha for this team. Then last year, he was the Saturday starter behind Knapp. And this year, he's been on Friday all season long. He is a very, very important arm for North Carolina. 2-0, and he is one of Scott Forbes' all-time favorites.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, he's only going to get better. He's only going to get stronger. He's a very strong kid, and we saw it. I mean, we see the progression from year in to year out. When he was 17, 18, 19, he finally turned 21 this year. But you could definitely see that progression. He was always a big kid, tall, and then all of a sudden started working out. Now he's getting the definition in his legs. That's only going to he's only going to get stronger. That arm strength is only going to build.
3-1.
Fastball velocity 93, 94 miles an hour. Wouldn't be surprised if you see some maybe 5s in there too.
Bryant Dean's hiding in there, the pitching coach. That one misses inside. And Jack Basier draws a 1-out walk. Scott Forbes, former pitching coach here to Mike Fox. Not happy with the way those last couple pitches were called. Letting Mike Morris hear about it. And here's Andrew Lamb, who hit a long home run yesterday for USC and delivered a safety squeeze. The son of former big leaguer Mike Lamb. Pitch misses high, 1-0.
Yeah, we got to talk to him yesterday after the ball game, and the first thing that he says to his son Andrew Lamb as he walks up, not great swing on the home run or anything like that. He said, "Hey, nice bunt." That's what a big league dad tells his son. Doesn't care about the home run. Hey, that was a really nice bunt that you had.
Key Molman helped as part of a 3-run inning. Runner goes, swung on a miss, throw to second, right into the runner, and Schaffner gets the tag down for out number 2. Great pick by Schaffner. Heineck's got a cannon, but it's not always accurate.
Oh, Heineck has a great arm. I feel like this is probably a hit and run. Lamb just doesn't come up with it. But how about Schaffner at second making the play? Not only that, as you're picking it, you have the tag, you have all that momentum from Basier coming in and still able to hold on to that ball.
He almost caught that ball behind Basier. Popped up into shallow right. The second baseman, Gallagher, will make the catch, and the inning is over. The caught stealing helps get DeCaro out of the second. We head to the third, 1-0 North Carolina in Game 2 of Supers. History, the USC Trojans, pair of Hall of Famers, Tom Terrific of the big unit. Freddie Lynn, former Rookie of the Year and MVP, and Kong, Dave Kingman played there. Cy Young Award winner Barry Zito. Mark Pryor, his college teammate, who Zito called Calfzilla. A couple of great cornermen, Mark McGuire and Aaron Boone. Boone was paying attention yesterday to the game, former third baseman.
You were receiving some texts during the game. I saw the Boone text pop up.
He was, I think, giving his son, Brandon, who's an offensive assistant on Bill Belichick's staff here, a hard time about USC coming back to win. And count 1-1 to Jake Schaffner. Top of the order for North Carolina against Grant Govell. Fouled away. And the count 1-2. All right, so is this a good day or a bad day for a fly ball pitcher is what I need to know. Because Govell, Gabby, especially against righties, it is an extreme fly ball rate. It's like 70% of balls.
If you look at the way that Govell pitches, a lot of fastballs to the top part of the zone. Every single one. So he's going top of the zone with the fastball. With lefties, which is why I feel like he's a little bit more successful, he'll work that because he's got a really high slot, right? So the high slot guy, it's going to be easier for him to hit the top, but he really has to get on top to get to that bottom zone. Against lefties, he'll hit that bottom zone with the fastball, and then he plays the changeup off of it. That's why he has a little bit more success off of that. Against righties, he really does stay on top, and he likes to try to get you to fly up and miss-hit those high fastballs, but occasionally, guys get on top of it.
Schafter hit by a pitch to start the third. Second hit batter for Gavel, the leadoff man aboard for North Carolina here in the third. The NCAA Men's Super Regional coverage continues this weekend across ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN Plus. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Leadoff man aboard for Gavin Gallagher, team captain. There's a lot of Carolina blue here today. Count 0-1 to Gallagher. Future Tar Heel. I wish you wore more sparkly stuff on your head.
I do, just not when I'm working.
Don't want it to be a distraction.
I don't want to mess with it.
Here's the 0-1. Gallagher in the air to right center. Wind's going to knock that down a bit. Jack Basir will haul it in for out number one. Schafter back to first. See the breeze.
It's crazy, too, because we're looking at the breeze, and all of a sudden the flag will be blowing in. And then 2 seconds later, it starts blowing out to left. Then there is no wind. It's really crazy right now, the swirling of the wind we have at the stadium.
I mean, I'm enjoying it because we're going to get breeze.
We are getting a nice little breeze in here.
That is really nice.
Or maybe it's just my fan for you.
Oh, thank you. Throw over to first, and the runner's back. The amount of ancillary equipment that Gabby's able to pack to bring with for the booth for our comfort is impressive. They're all lined up at the field hockey stadium to watch this. Right center field.
Now, do they have to buy tickets up there? Or do we just get them in trouble?
I don't know.
Standing room only is what we're calling it.
It's one way to count attendance if you do. Count 0-1. I mean, nothing will be like what we saw yesterday at Troy, where they packed 6,500 people into a 2,000-seat stadium and couldn't do any more because they didn't want to run afoul of the fire marshal. Good changeup. It's 0-2 to Hall.
You always have to have an extra seat for the fire marshal, too, so he's happy. This is what we talk about. It's a really good changeup, and it's against lefties that he will throw it a whole bunch. He usually is fastball changeup predominantly for lefties. Every once in a while, he'll throw that curveball.
Hot shot into right field, a base hit for Hall. Schafter will make the turn at second and hang on. And North Carolina with a threat here in the third. They have a pair aboard with one out for the heart of the order.
So with Owen Hall up, he just finished getting the changeup, got the swing and miss. What does he do? He tries to come back with the fastball, same exact spot, but because Owen Hall is ready for it, he's able to turn on it and hit it in the 3-4 hole.
Quick mound conference here.
I was thinking Schafter, too, had a chance maybe to go first and third on that one, but that ball was just hit way too hard at 105 miles an hour. Sear gets to it quick, gets it in.
You see Sean Allen, the pitching coach for USC, the new head coach at Lamar, as already some action getting ready. Freshman Gavin Lauridsen getting loose. Again, Gavel has been really good this season overall, Gabby, but you highlighted this at the outset. 153 pitches over 2 outings in College Station during the regional, and his last outing was on Monday. So I can't imagine that they're going to go particularly deep with him, even if he's effective today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's one of those where you're going batter to batter at some point. because they know that he is tired. I mean, you're still seeing some 93s and 94s, but it's different.
Macon Winslow takes a ball high. It's 1-0.
Usually college pitchers, they're used to, almost 7 days of rest in between starts. Well, all of a sudden, you throw a little wrinkle in there of a 5-gamer or a 5-day, and makes it a little bit tough, especially after throwing on a Friday and then a Monday.
Winslow sends that one down the left field line. It's hooking and going foul. A little off the end of the bat. The count 1-1 to Winslow. Well, Gavel also has a Tommy John surgery on his resume. He had that in high school. In fact, when he was committed to USC, they told him to take a gap year. Wouldn't you love to have a gap year where you don't do anything?
Well, I mean, luckily they told him you're going to have a spot.
Yeah. You're going to come back.
You're going to come back. You're going to have a spot available. Just go ahead and take your gap year.
For a second, runner back. They let him rehab. He said he was so bored the whole time. He said all I could do, I couldn't take any classes. So he's like, I read books, I worked out, I picked my sister up from school. That's it. That's all he did for a year.
Read books, huh?
That's what he claims. Bouncer off his foot and foul.
That's what I'll tell my parents and coach too. I read a bunch of books.
He didn't say what books he was reading.
That's true. Comic books or
books. Do graphic novels tell us books.
Hey, look, you go to USC, you've got to be pretty smart. You have to be well read.
It is a good school. A very good school. 1-2 the count. The pitch. Fouled off the mask at Cadena. Winslow stays alive.
Oh, being an ex-catcher in the minor leagues, those are not fun. They rattle your head. Your jaw starts to hurt because it feels like everything gets pushed back. Your ears are ringing. That's a fun one.
Oh.
And then you just put down a sign and say, let's go.
The job sounds so glamorous. 2-2.
I mean, they call it the tools of ignorance for a reason.
North Carolina threatening here in the top of the third with 1 out. They already lead 1-0, trying to force a winner-take-all game tomorrow. The 2-2 instead of toss to second. Three and two the count with 1 out. Runners get their lead at first and second. They go. And the payoff foul back.
Well, you got your 2 guys that can steal bases on the bases right now with Schaffner and Hall. So it's a right situation to say, you know what, maybe let's press it. If you can hit the ball in the gap, you're going to be able to score from first if you're on the move.
Runners go again. Winslow fouls another one away.
Now, at a certain point, a base runner will look at his head coach and say, I'm good.
Mike, North Carolina has a 1-0 lead over South Carolina. We welcome those of you who have been enjoying a wild game in Athens with Georgia knocking off Mississippi State. North Carolina on that throw down to second. Doesn't matter. It's ball 4. They have the bases loaded in the top of the third inning. Here's what's at stake today. USC is 1 win away from their first trip to Omaha in 25 years. North Carolina, who blew a 5-1 lead yesterday in the loss to USC, has a solo home run from Colin Hynek and has now loaded the bases against first-team All-Big Ten pitcher Grant Gavel with 1 out here in the third. And the crowd starting to really get into it at the Bosch, Gabby.
Yeah, this is one of the first times that we've seen the fans here at the Bosch get on their feet and start to hoot and holler. Big time situation. We saw this yesterday with this UNC ball club. They had bases loaded in the first inning with no outs, couldn't get a run across, which I think really hurt them at the end of that ball game. Momentum kind of shifted over. USC is able to take over.
You see Scott Forbes, the head coach at North Carolina, Sean Allen, the pitching coach, making a visit, and Colin Hynek waiting in the on-deck circle gave UNC the lead in the second.
Oh, it was a fastball up and in, and boy, he got his bat head to that baseball. Smacks it out of the ballpark to give UNC a 1-0 lead.
Eric Paulson at the plate, the most outstanding player in the Chapel Hill Regional. A grand slam on May 15th against NC State. First pitch, up and in, 1-0. Gavell reverse splits. He's a guy that has been better against lefties and righties this year.
Yeah, against lefties, he likes to throw the changeup. It's a really good changeup, and also against lefties too. He does like to work that bottom of the zone with the fastball.
Just missed, 2-0. And the biggest pitch of this game coming so far for Grant Gavell. North Carolina has really made him work in this third inning. The pitch fires in a strike.
And that's a changeup, and that's what makes it tough. He does not mind throwing that changeup against lefties, whatever count it is. So even in the hitter's count, he'll work that changeup into lefties.
Andy Stankiewicz, the head coach in the foreground there for USC. Is that what misses low? And the count 3-1 to Paulson. This third inning has really turned on Gavell. Their starter Mason Edwards lasted just 3 yesterday. Gavell, who did yeoman's work in the regional, throwing 153 pitches behind 3-1. Paulson swings and skies one. On the infield in foul ground, it's Kevin Takeuchi, the third baseman, who makes the catch and a big second out. Boy, that silences crowd.
Yeah, Eric Paulson on a 3-1 count swings that ball forward. This is an elevated fastball, top of the zone. Paulson being a little too aggressive on that pitch, ends up popping up into foul territory. Would have been an infield fly if it was in fair territory.
But now here is Colin Hynek, who homered his last trip, and Gavell has allowed 14 homers this year, 11 to right-handed hitters, including the one to Hynek. It's 0-1.
Hynek hit that fastball his last AB. Gavell does not care, going right after him with the fastball again, this time staying down in the zone.
Couldn't hold up. On appeal, Brian DeBrouwer says he went around. It's 0-2. Yesterday, North Carolina loaded the bases in the first inning against Mason Edwards and couldn't score. Here, bases loaded, 1 out. Momentum hanging in the balance as North Carolina tries to keep their season alive. Runners get their lead from every station. The 0-2 upstairs. Carolina had opportunities with men in scoring position, but couldn't cash them in game 1. They create a ton of traffic. Swing and a miss. Hynek down on strikes, and Gavell gets out of the bases-loaded jam in the third. Grant Gavell, the pop-out and strikeout, and North Carolina leaves them loaded to the bottom of the third. Trojans coming to bat, trailing 1-0. leads Southern Cal 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. We're joined now by North Carolina head coach Scott Forbes. So you guys have created traffic over the last 2 days.
Yeah.
It just seems like the big hit's been elusive. What are you seeing in the at-bats?
Well, you just got to get the big hit. I mean, you know, you keep getting them on there, though. You got to feel like eventually somebody's going to get one. You know, the approach is to see this guy up, and Paulson just couldn't lay off that fastball up. And he made some good pitches to Colin Heineck. I love our guys, though, and we'll just keep competing. You got to move on quick. Can't dwell on that.
Scott, we appreciate the time. Best of luck today.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Scott Forbes, the head coach at North Carolina, joining us. And you can hear a little bit of frustration in there starting to set in. But this has been North Carolina's offense all year. They have created so many run-scoring opportunities that eventually they cash in, and their numbers have actually been good with men in scoring position overall.
Yeah, I mean, especially later, because we talked to him earlier on in the season, and he told us one of the biggest struggles that they had as an offense was runners on third, less than 2, getting them in, right? And then all of a sudden that started to change and flip and started to score a whole bunch of runs. But as a head coach, Scott Forbes, you know, he's out there, he's seeing it. He saw what happened in yesterday's ball game where in the first inning they could have really opened up the game, couldn't do it. Same goes to this last inning where they had the game.
Dean Carpentier, who hit the go-ahead grand slam yesterday, flies one to left center where Owen Hull tracks it down for out number 1. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Walter Urban. Jason DeCaro's been sharp so far, Gabby.
Yeah, I mean,
efficient.
He's looking like that Jason DeCaro that we have seen in his career. Poised on the mound, not letting things kind of get to him. One of the biggest, issues that he's had this season, in my opinion, has been maybe a little bit more on the walk side of it, of giving up the free passes.
On the ground to short. Schaffner will throw to first, 2 outs. Let's take a look back at what happened in game 1 of this Super Regional yesterday. It was a 5-1 North Carolina lead heading to the 6th. It was 5-2 at that moment when Carpentier hit the grand slam, and boy, the bullpen for USC did an incredible job. You could flip over what they did yesterday. It was 6 innings of 1-run ball. Drew Johnson shut the door.
I mean, you're right. They faced a really good pitcher in Mason Edwards. They made him work, and they really did a good job of getting him out early. But you got to give credit to that USC bullpen who was able to come out. Chase Harrell, Drew Johnson, what a fantastic job he did, basically taking over that game, and UNC could not do anything against him.
You can hear some of the boos as Trent Jewett, the hitting coach, using one of the 3 offensive timeouts for USC to try and slow things down a little bit here in that 3rd inning, get a breather for Gravel. Only 4 pitches to the first 2 hitters for DeCaro in this inning.
Yeah, if I'm DeCaro right here, I'm going fastball right down the middle.
Because you think he's taking?
You gotta think he's taking here.
Let's see if DeCaro agrees with Gavin. Certainly taking his time now. And the first pitch to Covarrubias is a strike. Right down the middle. That might be the best fastball he's thrown today at 95.
I was like, well, I think he might have been just thinking, going, I am going to throw it down the middle, but I'm going to pump a little extra on this one.
Covarrubias grounded to short his first trip. That one misses inside. What a one to the leadoff man. Disappointed that Scott Forbes might be in the execution right now offensively. He's going to be thrilled with the way DeCaro is throwing. Yeah. On the ground to third, under the glove of the sure-handed Nicholson and into left field. We had 2-out base runner. We'll see how they score that. That's an error, and it feels like that's a good call. Yeah,
I mean, the way that he went after that ball, I don't know what happened. He is playing up. Ball comes off the bat at 93 miles an hour. I don't think he's just was able to get there. He tried to just stay back, and instead of getting himself in front of that baseball, try to play it off the side, it just went right underneath his glove.
So tying run aboard for Adrian Lopez. Lopez with 13 homers. He's a guy that they have actually worked on to try and get the ball in the air to the pull side more with. As he's late on that fastball, it's 0-1. We're in the slug part of the Southern Cal lineup. Andy Stankiewicz, who loves to play the inside game, will let these guys cook. The 0-1. Bouncer to the right side. Second baseman Gallagher has it. Throws to first, inning over. DeCaro pitches around the 2-out error. We head to the fourth, 1-0 North Carolina. Bunch of opportunities early yesterday to break the game open. Bases loaded, nobody out in the first against Mason Edwards, and he struck out the side to get out of the jam. Carolina would later lose a 5-1 lead in the game, 9-5. Today, bases loaded, 1 out in the third, and you saw Paulson pop out and Heineck strike out. And Grant Cavell prance off the mound with a 0 there, and it kept USC back 1-0, and that's a lot of opportunities. That's a number that I don't know that you want to play with that much before fire if you're USC. That's going to turn at some point.
I mean, you're talking about, what, 12 innings of hitting with those type of numbers. It's a double-edged sword, right? Because you have the guys getting on. They're consistently getting on. You have to think if you're UNC, at some point the dam will break, runs will come in to score. But it hasn't yet.
We just saw it in Atlanta last week, right? Oklahoma, the first 2 games that they played in the Super Regionals, couldn't buy a base hit with men on base, and then they just went off from there. So it can turn quickly if you keep creating opportunities. Cavell behind 2-0 on the freshman Tyler Howe, who sends that fouling out of play. Just a little while ago, Caden Glauber, the freshman. You want me to go down to the bullpen? Okay, the ACC Freshman of the Year, a finalist for the Stopper of the Year award. Doing a little groundskeeping.
That's why they sent him out there. Said, hey, freshman, go clean the bullpen. Get it ready for yourself.
It's very zen. It's like the art of gardening, right? Like.
Oh, that's funny. That's a great job.
Clean mound, happy mound. Haven't you heard that? That's working on that philosophical book right now.
Oh, that's great.
2-2 as Howe keeps battling. Bottom third of the lineup for North Carolina against Grant Cavell. Oh, guy's got his pom-poms and the fan going. On the ground to the right side, Covarrubias will throw out Howe, and the leadoff man gone in the North Carolina fourth. The Stanley Cup Finals continues tonight. Game 3 of the series tied at 1. The Carolina Hurricanes visit the Vegas Golden Knights at 8 Eastern. You watch on ABC and stream it live on the ESPN app. They did not allow a whole lot of Hurricanes red into this ballpark today. It is mostly Carolina blue. They're, of course, located in the Research Triangle, not far from this ballpark and the UNC campus. It's Cooper Nicholson bats.
Can I get the ball?
The 1-0. Strike, it's 1-1. There's a couple of, see, that's the problem. If you wear red, they're going to think you're with the enemy. He's not even facing the field. Nicholson pops it up behind the plate. It'll get out of play. Look at this.
That's funny. It's a red shirt. He's like, I'm just wearing a red shirt. That's all it is.
No, it's got
That's
Snoopy.
all it does. It has USC
on it.
Yep.
That guy is just not a UNC fan. Like he is. He is
far
the
off
fan version of an internet troll right now. Yeah, it's just 1-2 in the air to right, and Jack Basir trying to makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down in the 4th. There's a little bit of light golf clap on that out. I mean, he's clearly rooting for USC.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly against anything UNC, that's for sure.
He is a guy that in his basement has a sign that says, my 2 favorite teams are Duke and whoever's playing the Tar Heels. 2 outs for Ramkel as the 5th. 0-1 the count. Now that is a guy whose allegiances are well known. That is Roy Williams.
I love the hat.
Great basketball coach. Yeah, the Panama hat plays. He went with Carolina blue and not the bright pink he had on yesterday, trying to change the bojo a little. He is a huge supporter.
Yeah, doing anything he can to try to help out.
He the first time he met Scott Forbes, he called Forbes Scotty Boy, and he calls him that to this day. A 1-2-3 inning for Grant Cavell. Very sharp. North Carolina, though, leads USC 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Has an incredible legacy in baseball. You see the most men's college World Series titles of any program, 21 appearances, but it's been a quarter century. Rod Dedeaux, their legendary coach, 11 national championships and 2 Hall of Famers. Tom Seaver, Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson and Mark McGuire played together at USC. Just think about that for a second.
That's when Randy Johnson didn't really know where the ball was going either.
He had no idea.
It was 100, but good luck when you were up there hitting him.
Do you know the story about how he figured out how to throw strikes? He's told me the story 100 times.
No.
We used to work together. And this is a name drop. Joaquin Lopez fouls it back. He was pitching in Texas, and Nolan Ryan and Tom House, another former USC standout, noticed that he kept landing on his front foot on the heel of his foot and not the ball. And they made that adjustment with him, and that's when he went off. That's when he was still with Seattle, and all of a sudden he went from this guy that was Nuke Lelouch, right? Like struck out 18, walked 18, hit the Bull mascot twice to, oh my gosh, that guy is the scariest human being alive. Pretty cool.
That was when he hit you on purpose. You knew it. Before you didn't.
Did you have that experience? Did
Not against him. I never got to face him.
I was going to say, because 07 or 08 was last year.
I believe. I never got to face him. I wanted to.
Ice cream here at the Bosch. 2-2 the count to Augie Lopez, the leading home run hitter for USC Bats. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes, so the leadoff man gone in the USC fourth.
Well, I'll tell you what. DeCaro's looking real good, and we talked about it, really good with every one of his pitches. This is the curveball. Lot of dive down to it.
That's the first strikeout of the day for DeCaro. First pitch to Kevin Takeuchi is fouled away. It's 0-1.
He's just straight in attack mode. Going right after hitters, hitting his spots, working the ball from side to side, getting ahead. And once he's getting ahead, he's able to get that soft contact. He's able to keep that pitch count down, too.
0-2. Just one hit allowed. Much sharper than his last two outings. Here comes the 0-2 in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is most likely Jason DeCaro's last start at home in a UNC uniform. He is draft eligible as a junior. He will likely go in the top 4 rounds. Here's the 1-2. That one hammered up the alley in left center, but Owen Hull will track it down for out number 2. I love the comparison that Scott Forbes uses for DeCaro. He says, without a doubt, his best days are going to be in pro ball.
Yeah, I agree.
And the comp that he uses is Zach Gallen, who was a 3rd-round pick. Gallen started an all-star game, got Cy Young votes, and he struggled a little bit the last year and a half. But I think it's less from a stuff and more from a pitchability standpoint, and that he's going to figure out how to get better and better as a pro.
And not only that, a guy that's out there every 5 days, right? Like it's dependable, and that's all he's been since he's been here at UNC. It's just been dependable. Going out there, you know that he's going to start every single weekend. You can pencil him in.
He's not a huge strikeout guy, and it's sliding stop there by Gaylor, throw to first in time to get Kadena, and he's got great defense behind him, and the best defensive second baseman in the country, Gavin Gallagher, just got him out of the inning.
Oh, what a play. Sliding grab, gets up quickly, makes the toss over to first. This one you'll see again. This should be a top 10er.
To the 5th, 1-0 UNC. North Carolina leading USC. We're joined now by Trojans head coach Andy Stankiewicz. And Stanky, you told us before the game about the compete factor for Grant Cavell. How has that manifested itself in your 2 years with him?
Well, he just he's turned into a fireballer, right? He's competitive. He throws strikes. I think he's everything that you want as a pitcher. You see, he's pitched a lot, and he's continues to compete out there. He got himself out of a tough jam there. We had bases loaded. with one out with a heck of a hitter up there, and so we got to stay on it. Maybe the guy they got over there on their side is real good too. So it's going to be a game of inches.
Andy, we appreciate the time. Best of luck today.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Andy Stankiewicz in his 4th season as the USC head coach, former big leaguer, former Pepperdine standout. If I had to go back to college again, I think I'd want to go to Pepperdine. That campus is... Oh, you're in Malibu? Great. Your view from the baseball stadiums of the ocean? Terrific. That sounds lovely.
Oh, I've been to that stadium. It's really nice. It's not the greatest for a home run hitter, that's for sure.
No, I think there's marine layers, and then there's the entire ocean blowing, the wind blowing the ball down. But a nice breeze from the side out of winds occasionally. 0-2 the count to Jake Schaffner. 1-0 North Carolina, the visitor, even though this game is in Chapel Hill for game 2. What's at stake today? USC 1 win away from their first trip to Omaha in 25 years. North Carolina trying to extend its season and force a winner-take-all tomorrow as that one rolled foul. Schaffner narrowly missing extra bases. The count 0-2. Schaffner's a guy who's improved throughout this season. It feels like you've seen his confidence grow.
Well,
always had quality at bats.
Yeah, I mean, starting in the bottom of the lineup, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, we got to put him to the top of the line. Not only that, the table setter, right? Put him at the top because of his at-bats. Able to handle the strike zone, makes it tough on pitchers, fouling tough pitches off, doing a good job of putting balls in play. And then once he gets on first base, having the speed to be able to, steal second base and steal third.
0-2 the count to Schaffner. Outside. 1-2.
Doesn't really strike out much, too. 27 strikeouts compared to 41 base on balls.
To first, Adrian Lopez will take it to the bag himself. And the leadoff man gone in the North Carolina 4th. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. Of course, we found the one Mets fan here with our producer Scott Matthews involved. Ground under short, knocked down. Carpentier throws to first, not in time. It'll be an infield base hit for Gavin Gallagher.
One thing that UNC is really starting to do, they're hitting balls hard. And they did yesterday as well, just didn't have any luck. But this one here, 107 miles an hour off the bat of Gavin Gallagher. Carpentier tries his best to just knock that ball down, get up and make the throw. But Gallagher just too fast down that line. It's kind of, I think, came up a little
gingerly.
Gingerly. I mean, I see him stretching out that hamstring area.
It looked like he hit the bag a little bit awkwardly or something, Gabby, and I'm glad you noticed that. Here, let's take a look at him.
Because, I mean, really fast down that line, yeah. Hits the top of the base. Almost looks like the cleat kind of hits and moves forward as he's hitting the base.
And Gavel makes him scramble back. This is in real time. Maybe a little hitch in his giddy up getting down the line. I just wonder if he's banged up a little bit this year. We're at that point in the season where guys are playing through a lot of things.
And this is the time where nobody is taking a seat on the bench. In the middle of the season, you kind of have little, nicks, and okay, you know what, maybe take a day off. Not this time.
Not for their team captain and a guy who has been such a great postseason performer. Hall bounces it through the right side, a base hit. Gallagher around second. He's going to try and push it to third, and the throw cut off. North Carolina has him at the corners with one out in the 5th.
All right, maybe he's fine. He just deeped us because he moved really well there from first to third. This one a little bit different with Owen Hall. The last one that he hit it extremely hard. This one's a bouncer that gets through into the 3-4 hole. And a great job by Gavin Gallagher at first base, realizing, hey, first let that ball get over, but knowing that that ball wasn't well hit and going first to third. Again, another opportunity for UNC.
We talked about it. They've struggled with men in scoring position through the first game and a half of this Super Regional, but they've had a ton of chances. And now an opportunity for Macon Winslow, who walked with 2 on in the third. Throw it first, runner back. Here's what we were just talking about. 1 for 11 with men in scoring position, 13 left, 8 of those yesterday. Big shift on for Winslow. Outside, 1-0.
Yeah, right now, if you're Winslow, you want to look up in the zone. You want to get something that's up that you can drive to that outfield. Bancabello likes to throw that fastball up, but you got to get it in the zone. You can't go chasing too high.
Fouled away.
And that's the one you're looking for right there. In the strike zone, top of the strike zone. Something that you just, all you're trying to do is just touch that baseball. Thinking big part of the field.
A toss to third and Gallagher back. Whoa, I don't see the pick off to third very often, do you?
Trickery right there.
That's a little West Coast baseball at its finest.
Yeah.
Maybe not the hidden ball trick, but keeping Gallagher close. Hull with great speed at first, and a throw over, and he dives back. And I wonder if that was part of the toss to third, was hoping to see if Hull was going and they could maybe throw behind him.
Just a little trickery, a little gamesmanship. Well, went to third. You're thinking, I'm not going to go over to first base, see if you can get him sleeping over there.
Can't do the old third to first anymore. Winslow pops it up. Foul territory, first base side. Adrian Lopez over, and he can't make the play. Off his glove, right by the side wall, and Winslow gets another chance.
And here it is. As a first baseman, what you want to do is you want to get to the point, right? You don't want to keep drifting underneath this ball. That's exactly what it does, because then you don't know where you are on that fence. Where if you get to that fence first and now you know where you are, you can work away from the fence, makes it easier for yourself.
And now a second chance for Winslow. And maybe this is the break that UNC has been looking for. The pitch. Popped up, foul, and out of play again.
I mean, getting the right pitches, swinging at the right pitch, just underneath. Right now, that bat head is just dropping to that baseball. So as a hitter, once I feel that, okay, I got to make an adjustment right now at the plate. I can't wait till my next at bat because we got guys in scoring position. I got to feel like I'm chopping a tree to stay on top.
Another throw over the runner back. Pitch count starting to climb a little bit for Gavell here at 82. There is action in the bullpen for North Carolina. Another throw over, fake to first, and then throw to third. And just back is Gallagher.
I've been bringing everything out. I went to third straight. Tried to pick off at first, and how about the pick off to first, throw to third?
You have to be very careful in that spot that you don't balk, and that's, he had to step off to fake the throw to first. The 1-2 on the ground to short. That could be 2 to second for 1. Covarrubias to first. It's a double play, and the extreme fly ball pitcher Grant Gavell gets out of it with a twin killing, and North Carolina leaves a man at third. 6, 4, 3, inning over. We head to the bottom of the 5th. North Carolina trying to keep their season alive, leads USC 1-0. Carolina, Macon Winslow hits into a double play to end the inning, and the DH clearly frustrated, as North Carolina hasn't broken this open yet. They lead 1-0, trying to keep their season alive. Look at that, 1 for 12 with men in scoring position through the first game and a half here. The good news for them is Jason DeCaro's pitching very well, but still in blue but a blast territory if you're Carolina. And for USC, you have to feel good about the fact that Grant Gavell has been terrific as Jack Basier fouls it back. It's 0-2.
You got to think right now, if you're Scott Forbes, you've seen already 3 different innings that you've had guys in scoring position with less than 2, and you haven't been able to cash in at all. But then you're looking on the mound and you're saying, boy, Jason DeCaro's throwing the ball exceptionally well.
This might be one of those days where North Carolina's pitching has to carry things. Brian Gaines, the pitching coach there with the resplendent mustache. And here's the 1-2. Little dribbler. DeCaro has it, and he will underhand to first for out number 1. Let's thanks to our Bristol studio with Chris Budden and Mike Rooney for an update on Super Regionals. That'd be really incredible news if they were able to pull that off in the Trojan-on-Trojan battle at Super Regionals there. All 3 Trojans in Division I college baseball making it to Super Regionals this year. You don't need to say anything. It's okay.
No, I mean, what am I going to say?
That's the kind of nerdy thing that I like. Andrew Lamb swings and misses. It's 0-2.
If you're Coach Perrin and my assistant coach, Gabby, is that how it works?
You know, it's actually a USC tie to that, right? It's Mike Gillespie, the late Skip Gillespie, who coached at USC. He called everybody coach. So they didn't have to remember their names. So that's why Mike Rooney calls me coach.
It's because he doesn't remember your name.
Here's what they were talking about in the studio. You see the brackets there. Troy 1 win away. West Virginia in a weather delay. Ole Miss beat Auburn last night. Called strike 3. Andrew Lamb, the second strikeout victim for Jason DeCaro, 2 outs.
I'll tell you this, DeCaro is just getting better and better as this game is going. This is just starting. We talked about it on the onset. He's a guy that will pitch around. He can use all 4 quadrants with his pitches. He has command of all 4 of his pitches. It doesn't matter what count he's in. He could throw the curveball. He could throw the slider. He has a changeup.
Grounder towards the middle. Diving stop. Schaffner to his feet. Throws offline. It'll be an infield single for Carpentier. Just the second hit of the game for USC, and the time runs aboard.
That was a heck of a try by Schaffner at shortstop. I tell you what, as soon as that ball was hit off the bat, I thought that was ticketed to center field.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was going to be any way he was going to even come close to try to even catch that ball.
A great effort, but just not able to get the runner at first. So the tying run is on for Walter Urban, this freshman center fielder. His defense got him into the lineup, but you see the offensive production has been there for the speedy outfielder. First pitch, strike, dotted on the outside corner. It's 0-1. At the very least, USC is going to clear the 9 spot in this inning, which will at the top of the order in the 6th if Urban doesn't keep a 2-out rally going. Behind 0-2. It's not often you see Jason DeCaro overpower someone with his fastball.
I mean, and right now it's where he's throwing it. He's moving it around. He went down and away. Then he goes, you know, middle in off the plate, gets the swing and miss. Now he can work back away with the slider if he wants to. He can go up with the fastball.
The 0-2. Did he go? He did, says Brian DeBauer at first. And the inning is over. In one of the biggest games of his career, Jason DeCaro's putting together one of his best performances. A pair of strikeouts here in the 5th. It's 1-0 North Carolina as they go to the 6th, trying to keep their season alive. DeCaro got the swing he wanted.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
6 days from Omaha, one of these teams will be there. Right now, USC in the driver's seat. And boy, it was a gutty performance from Grant Cavell today.
I mean, an outstanding job having traffic in all of those innings, only giving up one earned run. To me, I mean, that's just a gutsy performance. When you have a team like UNC that continuously put the pressure on, when he needed the big pitches, he was able to throw them, got himself out of some sticky jams, and still kept his ball club with a chance to come back and win this ball game.
Sax Manson will take over for Cavell here in the 6th. Manson was outstanding in the regionals at Texas A&M, where USC had to come through the losers bracket and beat A&M twice. 3 appearances, 5 scoreless innings as he starts Eric Paulson with a ball inside 1-0. And I have to think that their regional played a role in today as well for USC, right? Grant Cavell started Friday, started Monday. He threw 153 pitches between those 2 outings.
Yeah, I think, too, with the way that the game was going, there were tough innings. It wasn't just breezing through. A lot of traffic. And for Andy Stankiewicz basically saying, you gave me 5 innings and probably wasn't even expecting that. Now we can go to the bullpen.
Paulson drives one to left. Going back on it is Lamb. He looks up. It's gone. It's gone. An opposite field homer for Eric Paulson. Sax Manson, who's dominated lefties this year, gets dinged up by Eric Paulson to start the inning. It's 2-0 Tar Heels.
Boy, what a job by Eric Paulson. Stand behind that slider. Just dropping the barrel to it. Stand behind it, using that backside, and delivering an opposite field home run. 98 miles an hour off the bat, only going 339 feet, but that's all it needed.
Just the 2nd home run allowed by Madsen this year in 42 innings. And Roy Williams likes it. He and his wife talking about it. He's like, did you see what he did? He just stayed beside it.
And you saw the numbers against lefties, and look what he did against the lefty. It's brilliant.
Colin Heineck, who homered yesterday, swings and misses. The count 1-1.
Yeah, Sax Manson, it's a fastball slider mix. It's a low 3/4, almost throwing from the side. Gets a lot of movement with that fastball, has good slider, and I think Roy's telling her, this is what he's got.
She's looking at him like his pitch selection is off. 2-0 North Carolina. 2-1 the count to Heineck. Oh, and that got Mike Morris flush. Oh, man. Oh, got him right on the, I think on the shoulder. Oh, man. Boy, the way he spun out of there,
yeah.
Gabby, you know, oh, that did not feel good.
That's a strong man, too.
Testing his arm strength. There's a lot of muscle there.
There's a lot of muscle. Oh, gosh. Yeah, right in the collarbone area. That's going to hurt. Seems like the strength is still there. And even though you got a chest protector on, you're still going to feel it.
Morris has done it. I know there are a couple of barkings at him, but I think for the most part, he's been really consistent behind the plate today.
I mean, I feel like he has done a great job of calling balls and strikes. I mean, I understand that you're going to have fans and some coaches that want some pitches that are maybe a little bit off the plate, but I feel like he's been doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, nice round of applause from Morris. And Scott Forbes, who had a little beef with him earlier.
Yeah, you wanted some pitches?
Just trying to convince him that.
Yeah. Hey, help my pitcher out.
All right, good to see the mic's okay. 2-2 the count. On a Heineck batting, North Carolina's extended their lead on the opposite field homer from Eric Paulson. The pitch. Off the end of the bat into shallow right. It'll get down for a base hit. Heineck's second hit of the game.
Well, for Colin Heineck, this is a great job. Ball off the plate, hits it off the end of the bat. For Sax Maxson, the pitcher, just looking at it going, are you kidding me? How was he able to do that?
That'll bring up Tyler Howe, the freshman outfielder. And he will square to Bud and bunts it foul up along third. Howe, one of the few guys in this North Carolina that they will trust to lay a bunt down. This would be, I guess, if you're looking for a situation with the left on left as good as Matson is against lefties, and with Nicholson and Kellis next, this is kind of one of those rare times where moving a runner from first to second feels right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation here, too, that if you're Tyler Howe, maybe bringing it with you over to first.
Thinking that way that time as he takes outside 1-1. That's a good call because the first one he was clearly trying to go to third. Yeah. That one it looked like he was. We have a great view of the angle of the bat from where we're at.
And Takeuchi, the third baseman, I mean, he's playing in. He's looking for the bunt. So the last thing you want to do is bunt it to the third baseman.
Left-handed pitcher falls off the mound towards third too as that one misses and it's 2-1. North Carolina trying to keep their season alive. Snap throw to first and the runner back.
Go Tyler!
And another throw over. Heineck's not really a threat to run.
No.
One stolen base in one attempt. The 2-1. Now bunting again, and he bunts it to third, and it will roll foul again. Count 2-2. Well, do they keep it on here, Gabby, or do you try and let the freshman swing away?
You let him swing away. You absolutely let him swing it away with 2 strikes. Go ahead, swing it. Don't try to just put the ball in play. Right? You don't want to just go up there and nice, easy, take a swing. You still want to be powerful.
Scott Forbes is using one of their offensive timeouts to talk to Howe about what he'd like.
Oh, snap. Getting into the situation, coach is talking, maybe telling him, hey, are we going to put it down? I would say no.
Well, maybe he's telling him what you said. Hey, let it rip.
Let it rip.
You know,
I don't want
swing, 2 strikes.
I do not want you to just put the ball in play.
Whatever you do, don't hit into a double play. Do anything else.
Swing hard.
Do the count. Howe is punting again.
Oh, hit him.
And it hit him. And is he okay? Scott Jackson, the first base coach. Scott Forbes, the head coach for UNC, coming to check on the freshman, who says he's all right, but that was scary.
It's more of a scary moment than anything else. And usually in those type of situations, you turn away from the ball, but you're trying to stay in there. You're trying to bunt. You're trying to get the job done. And this ball just rode up and in on him. Tries to get out. Oh, boy.
It's just a glancing blow.
And it looked like because he started to turn last second, as you see that head starting to turn, it hits him on the inside flap.
Yeah, missed the C flap, it looked like, but at any rate, Howe is aboard now, and it appears he's okay, more importantly.
Oh, jeez. Well, this is the interesting with Cooper Nicholson coming up. He has been struggling with the bat. Hasn't been having those type of ABs. You're in a part of the lineup here. Of course, he has the most home runs as a Tar Heel this season, but does he go ahead and say, hey, we're playing small ball here?
Hit by a pitch and fly to right in his 2 trips, 2-0 North Carolina, and they do. He bunts it up along first. And they only play his 2 first for out number 1.
That's the first sack bunt for Cooper Nicholson. And does it in a super regional, understanding, you know what, I haven't been swinging the bat great. Let me play some team baseball. Look how everybody comes out to give him some high fives.
North Carolina's been looking for the big hit, and it'll be up to Rom Kellis here. It's funny, we were talking actually to Andy Stankiewicz about that, right? Hey, listen, you get a bunt down, you feel good about yourself. Your teammates are patting you on the back, everybody's cheering. Maybe that's something that gets Nicholson going for North Carolina. Infield's going to come all the way in this 2-0 game with Kellis at the plate. And he swings and hits the first one to left. Going back on his slam, he will make the catch. Tagging and coming home from third is Heineck. And an insurance run for North Carolina. They lead 3-0 in the 6th.
That's the old get him over, get him in. Great job by the bottom of the lineup. There's a reason why Ron Kellis was playing today. And when we spoke to Scott Forbes, he said, look, he's just hitting the ball. And right now, that's what I want down there. A guy who's going up there, who's confident, who's making some hard contact, comes through big.
Still a man in scoring position as Howe is at second for Schaffner. Schaffner handled Mason Edwards pretty well yesterday. Left-on-left matchup here against Matson. North Carolina's created some distance, a 3-run lead. Schaffner to second. Covarrubias will throw him out. The inning is over. But North Carolina uses the big ball and some small ball to extend the lead. This blast from Eric Paulson made it 2-0. The sac fly from Kellis gives him a 3-run advantage heading to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning with North Carolina leading 3-0. This is where the game turned yesterday, Gabby. Third time through the order yesterday for Ryan Lynch. The heart of the order for USC got to him, and this was the big blast against Walker McDuffie out of the pen.
Carpentier gets a breaking ball, and it just backs up right into the barrel. It was a huge grand slam to put him up in the ball game, and they never turn back. So this is the same type of inning, same type of situation where they're at the top of the lineup, seeing if they can get something going third time through.
Andy Stankiewicz, his offense got going in the middle innings yesterday. Now they need to try and do it again against Jason DeCaro. There is no action as of yet in the North Carolina pen, but lurking is Caden Glauber, one of the top relievers in the country, the ACC Freshman of the Year. Avery Covarrubias leads off. First pitch, a strike. It's 0-1.
He's just spotting right now. I mean, it's really fun to see Jason DeCaro on the mound. I get it, through the years, you know, third time through the lineup, especially this year, hasn't been that great for him. 231 first time through the lineup. Guys hitting 231 second time through the lineup. How about 333 average with 1,000 OPS third time through?
In his last home start, ooh, that Covarrubias to chase a fastball below the zone. Well, maybe that speaks to how off balance the USC hitters are.
I mean, right now he's just throwing that fastball at will. Anywhere from 91 to 94 miles an hour. He's spotting it. What he's doing a great job, too, is just getting ahead of each batter.
Covarrubias fouls it away. DeCaro through 5 innings, just a pair of singles allowed. He's walked a man, had another man reach on an error. Only 3 balls by my count, 4 balls, I guess, have left the infield. One of them a base hit. Swing and a miss. Covarrubias retired on the toss from Heineck, and the leadoff man gone in the USC 6th.
And this is what happens when you're around the strike zone so much. Was utilizing that fastball down in those zones, down in the zone. All that was to set up this pitch right here, the curveball. Starts it middle, about belt high, lets it drop off the plate, down into the ground, gets a big swing and a miss.
4 strikeouts, as you see, for DeCaro. 1 out for Adrian Lopez. Lopez hands one of the 2 hits against him, a base hit to left in the first. He chops it foul at the plate.
We talk about only the 4 strikeouts, but all 4 of those strikeouts from the 4th inning on. So he's starting to get those strikeouts as the game has been going. It's almost like early contact in his first couple of innings, getting the quick outs. Now all of a sudden, USC is trying to work the counts, but they keep falling behind 0-2, because right now that's exactly what Jason DeCaro is doing, just attacking the strike zone.
There's the 0-1. Nothing at 2.
And another 0-2 count.
Fouled away again. Just 70 pitches through 5 1/3 for the North Carolina ace. Moved into the 2nd spot with Ryan Lynch starting yesterday. Season on the line for North Carolina today. The 0-2. Could not get him to chase. Saw that all the way, did Adrian Lopez.
I mean, he throws that same ball over the plate and he gets to swing and miss. That one just started off the plate right out of hand as a hitter. You see it right away. Nope, that's going to be a ball.
The 1-2. And that changeup is low, 2-2. The pitch. Popped up into right. Racing in. Howe going out the second baseman and unable to make the play. Is Gallagher? Did he?
No, he got it.
Did he?
No, he did get it.
Gallagher did get it for out number 2. Excuse me, I got confused by Brian DeBauer's signal saying it was a fair ball, but Gallagher got there and had a long way to go to get it, Kevin.
Boy, Gallagher had a long way. I thought Howe was going to be calling for this one. Gallagher coming out of nowhere to make the play.
Excellent job by Gallagher, the top second baseman of the country in defensive runs saved. And the first pitch to Augie Lopez is wrapped foul. 0-1. 14 of the 21 hitters that DeCaro has faced have been behind 0-1.
He has 8 0-2 counts so far in this ball game.
I mean, he has really been on the attack. That one popped out of the glove of Heineck, 1-1. Heineck, a very good receiver at the bottom of the zone. Just couldn't pull that one back in. Here's the 1-1. It's 1-2.
I mean, velocity is still there too. Anywhere from 91 to 94. It's just painting corners right now for him.
He's put this team on his back today, trying to save their season. Here comes the 1-2. And that breaking ball nearly hit Augie Lopez. And he wants them to challenge. He says it did hit him. Andy Stankiewicz is asking for a challenge here. Augie Lopez said that breaking ball hit his foot.
This would be probably a little tough to see with the angle.
But Augie Lopez was pretty definitive
and
right
that's
away.
the
He was
thing.
like, hey, that hit my foot.
I'm always with the hitter right when it happens. Most of the time when they're like, oh, definitely hit his front toe. Yep.
Got him right on the instep, it looked like.
USC is challenging the call that the batter was not hit by the pitch. This play is under review.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hits him right in the toe. You can see the ball deflect. Heineck is going out to go make the play. That ball goes the opposite way. This one shouldn't take too long.
They will take a look in Pittsburgh.
We've seen some where you really can't see and it looks like it may, can it? But it's hard to tell. This one you can see. As soon as where that ball's coming, look at the deflection. As soon as it hits the foot, where it's going. Straight to Heineck's leg. It hits right on the toe.
I mean, the difference in this one is it doesn't hit the ground first, right? So you don't have the dirt coming up. It just squarely hits him in the foot.
Squarely hits him right in the toe. Right there. I mean, definitive too. And for Andy Stankiewicz, he was like, oh, you want me to challenge? I guess it has to be, right? Augie Lopez is like, hey, that ball hit me. Go and challenge right now. We're going to first base.
After review, the call is overturned. The batter was hit by the pitch. USC retains their challenge. They have 2 remaining.
So USC with a 2-out base runner here in the 6th for Kevin Takeuchi. Takeuchi 0 for 2 today. 9 home runs on the season for the cleanup hitter. It does look like Caden Glauber is starting to toss in the North Carolina bullpen. First pitch misses. It's 1-0.
And I know that Scott Forbes really wants DeCaro to get out of this inning. Why? Because he likes Caden Glauber to come in with nobody on. He likes him to start innings.
Glauber is their cheat code out of the pen. He's been outstanding all year. The 1-0. Takeuchi squared to bunt, takes way outside, 2-0. These are maybe the first 2 wild pitches that we've seen from DeCaro to start an at bat.
You're Takeuchi here. You're looking straight fastball. You know that he's throwing it.
In the driver's seat, 2-0. He swings and pops it up down the right field line. It's a long run for Howe, and he won't get there as it gets out of play. It's 2-1.
Yeah, after me on a 2-0 count, you know you're going to get a fastball. He's been throwing strikes all day long. He wants to try to get that first strike over. You got to be ready for it. Can't be late on that fastball.
And he was.
Yeah.
I mean, is it deception? Is it just
I think
decision?
it could be overthinking of, like, do I swing, do I not swing? Getting up there, just that little bit of, is it going to be a strike or not, makes you late to get to the pitch.
2-1. Squares the bunt, bunts it to third. Nicholson charges, gloves, throws on the run. He got him at first, inning over. Cooper Nicholson with a fine defensive play on a really good bunt from Takeuchi. And USC turned aside in the 6th.
Oh, what a great job by Nicholson coming in to get that ball on the run. Makes the throw over to first. Really nice play by the third baseman.
Back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Jason DeCaro's been terrific for North Carolina as he talks to his pitching coach Bryant Gaines. 6 shutout innings for the junior. And trying to keep North Carolina's season alive as Sax Matson starts the 7th for USC. Here's what's at stake today. North Carolina needs a win to force a winner-take-all. Game 3 of the Super tomorrow. USC, with a comeback victory today, would find their way to Omaha for the first time in a quarter century. I count 2-0 here to Gallagher. It is hard to believe it has been that long for the most decorated program in college baseball. But this is just their 4th regional appearance in the last 21 years. Outside, and it's 3-0 to the leadoff hitter in the North Carolina 7th. This is the 4th home super regional in 5 years for North Carolina. The only one that they have won was 2 years ago. And Gallagher draws a leadoff walk. So traffic aboard here in the 7th. The Stanley Cup final continues tonight. Game 3 with the series tied at 1. Hurricanes and Golden Knights, 8 Eastern. Watch on ABC and stream it live on the ESPN app. Tar Heel Country, home to some great barbecue. By the way, thanks to the folks at Holy Smokes Barbecue and Brisket in Yanceyville for providing food today. It was delish.
Provided food for the crew, and my goodness, that's some good barbecue.
When in Yanceyville, visit Holy Smokes. Holy Smokes, we've got a pitching change here for USC. Leadoff man aboard for North Carolina in the 7th. They lead 3-0. Oh, no. I need to know what Mike Rooney has learned about the Trojan War and the Trojan horse. I think that's something that I'm not sure that he picked up at Notre Dame.
No.
I'm glad that he's diving deep into Wikipedia, KB. You saw the bracket there with what's at stake today for all of these teams. West Virginia in a weather delay looking to advance. And Sax Matson out of the game for these Trojans from USC, as they turn things over to Gavin Lorenzen, the freshman. This is a really big arm for USC, but he has not necessarily been consistent, and he struggled on Sunday against Texas State. Did not retire a batter. First pitch misses inside to Owen Hull. It's 1-0.
Yeah, just watching him take his warm-up, it's a big arm. I mean, good fastball, 93, 95 miles an hour. It's the command part that he's been having trouble with. A walk percentage rate of basically 13%.
A strike, and the count 1-1. He has really struggled with lefties this year. That's where most of the walks have come from. Left-handed hitters with an on-base plus slugging percentage over 860 against him. And Hull has power. A 1-1 on the ground through the right side, a base hit. Hustling around second and heading to third as Gallagher, the throw gets away. Hull will go to second. And North Carolina putting the pressure on as they look to take control here in the seventh.
Oh no, has 3 straight hits the same exact way into the 3-4 hole. Just getting these balls, getting around them, letting your base runners run. I love, too, the way when he hits this ball, he's reading the throw. Gavin Gallagher right away, he's taking off. He's going first to third. He realizes it, he sees it, he knows he's able to get there. Owen Hall, though, as he sees that throw up, he was often running to second. There was never any hesitation from him either.
Yesterday, USC's bullpen was great. Today, they've given up a couple of runs, and now the infield in for Macon Winslow, and that one outside, 1-0. North Carolina has struggled with men in scoring position to this point. They keep creating opportunities. Yep. They got a sac fly from Rom Kellis in a similar situation with one out in the last inning. They have a chance to break this wide open.
And right now you see with USC what they're doing. They're playing infield in. They understand they cannot allow another run to come across. Now with playing infield in, if you're UNC, you're not going on contact. You're seeing that ball through.
Sean Allen, the pitching coach, out to visit with the freshman reliever. And action already in the USC pen. The NCAA Men's Super Regional coverage continues this weekend across ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN Plus. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all NCAA championships. A lefty in the bullpen, Ben Kushney, who we saw for an out yesterday, their lefty specialist.
Hey, look how far the first baseman, Adrian Lopez, is playing. He's in between first and second, trying to cover that whole area.
1-0 way outside again to Winslow, so even after the mound visit, Lorenzen can't find the zone. 2-0. And if they're going to work away, that kind of plays into the hands of what you're talking about, right?
Well, here's the thing, too, with Macon Winslow, a guy with a lot of power, you kind of want to keep it in on the hands.
He swings and skies one to right. That should be deep enough to get home a run. Gallagher tags at third. The catch is made. The throw will come to third and cut off. Gallagher scores. It's 4-0 North Carolina. They don't have hits with men in scoring position, Gabby, but they have done a very good job the last 2 innings of executing with a man at third and less than 2 outs.
And that's what I was saying against Macon Winslow. You don't want to really leave anything out over. Why? Because he's a powerful guy. And you're basically making it a favor for him of leaving it out over that he could do just that. Because not only did he get that runner in, he moved that runner over. Right? So all of a sudden now, Eric Paulson has a chance to come up with a runner on third and less than 2.
And even with the lefty Kushney getting loose, and I think Andy Stankiewicz is going to go to him. No, they're going to intentionally walk Paulson here to take the bat out of his hands. Paulson had the home run the other way in the 6th, and he'll get the intentional walk. This is in the 6th inning. Going the other way, Paulson, the most outstanding player in the regional here in Chapel Hill.
Well, here's the other thing, though. I mean, I get it, the righty-righty matchup, but Colin Heineck today, he's got a couple of hits, and he hit a long ball back in the 2nd inning.
You see the guy with the I Love New York sign. That's where Paulson's from.
But for USC now setting up the double play. So they're going to be playing, they looks like they're playing first in. Now they're moving the third baseman back. So now they're just playing a regular double play depth. Ball gets hit, you're trying to turn it.
First pitch down low to Heineck. It's 1-0. Heineck gave North Carolina the lead with a solo home run in the 2nd inning. Way outside, it's 2-0.
Well, now you're looking for one pitch, one spot, one zone. You're looking for a fastball. You're looking for it to be out over the plate. You're trying to drive something deep in the air.
2-0. 3-0. It does not seem like he's been anywhere close with his breaking ball. So, I mean, it feels like he's one pitch.
You're looking fastball only. And I'm giving him the swing sign. I'm not letting him take. If you want to throw a 3-0 cookie, we're jumping on it. Now you're looking fair or foul down that left field line. It's got to be your pitch.
Upstairs, ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, right now, if you're USC, you got to be thinking, and Andy Stanko's got to be thinking, got to go get him. Hasn't been really close on any of these. You can't afford to just continue to walk guys and get free passes out, especially now with bases loaded.
Well, you're in this area, though, too, as you see what Carolina's done with men in scoring position. Scott Forbes is going to use their second offensive timeout here. You have the lefty Cushney loose, but do you want to keep chasing this win down 4 here in the 7th if you're USC?
But you also don't want this game to get away from you. A 4-run ball game is a little bit different than all of a sudden one big hit. Now you're down 7 or 8. Then all of a sudden you can play that, well, we're going to, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to win this, and keep your better arms going.
How 4 for 13 this year with the bases loaded, 3 for 3 against lefties, which is interesting as he takes a strike. It's 0-1. North Carolina looking for their first hit with the bases loaded. They would settle for a sac fly here. Anything to get one more run across, Gabby, it feels like.
Yeah, they've had a couple sac flies already here.
Howe on the ground to third. Taking to the bag is Takeuchi through first. In time to get him. A huge 5-3 double play gets USC out of the jam without any further damage. Kevin Takeuchi turning it.
Wow, what a play by Takeuchi. This is not an easy ball. Then realizing, let me get to third, and he sets his feet over. Great pick by Lopez at first base.
4-0 North Carolina at the stretch. Field to left field after hitting into that bases loaded double play to end the inning. Carter French takes over in right field. And Jason DeCaro continues on the mound here with a 4-0 lead in the 7th. We have not seen North Carolina deploy their secret weapon, Caden Glauber, to this point. And with DeCaro cruising as he starts Isaac Cadena with a strike, it's 0-1. There's Glauber just enjoying an energy drink or a little hydration. Here's the 0-1. 1-1. Thought maybe after a little bit of traffic in the 6th that you would see Glauber here, but that's not the decision for Scott Forbes.
No, Scott Forbes is looking at it saying the least that I could throw Glauber, the better it's going to be if we're able to win this game.
On the ground to first, Paulson has it. He will take it to the bag himself for out number 1. It's been a very good day for the ace of this North Carolina staff.
Oh, after back-to-back bad starts, this is what he does here today. He was absolutely on since pitch number 1, just spotting the balls, getting soft contact, and then all of a sudden, the later the innings came, started to get the punch-outs that he was looking for. This is what a Friday night ACC starter looks like.
Jack Basier on the first pitch to second. Gallagher will throw him out. 2 up, 2 down. Every out that DeCaro buys is a huge benefit for North Carolina.
And not only that, all of a sudden he's starting to get some quick outs. Right, we've already seen it before where, 4 or 5 pitches and gets 2 outs. They end up calling a, hitter's timeout to try to change up what DeCaro is doing, trying to change momentum up, but it hasn't bothered DeCaro at all, and still nobody warming up.
And they will do the same thing again. They did this the last time that DeCaro needed just 4 pitches to retire the first 2 batters. That was Covarrubias who was at the plate. Now, you said if you were DeCaro the last time that you would just groove a fastball right down the middle. Would you do the same thing to Lamb here?
Thing.
I mean, this is a guy with real power.
Yeah, same exact thing, though. Go ahead. Right? Be aggressive in the strike zone. If they're doing this, it's because they understand you got to get base runners on. Well, last time he did it was his best fastballs that he's thrown all game at 95 miles an hour.
We see 95 down the chute. We'll know why. I mean, listen, a solo home run does not do a lot in this spot, but
DeCaro can also throw every single one of his pitches for a strike,
that's
right?
true.
So he can throw a slider as a get me over if he wanted to.
First pitch to Lamb. He squares the bunt, takes a strike at 92, so 1.
And there it was. He was taking. That's I'm going to show you bunt, but I'm taking when I'm showing it.
Tried to check his swing. He went around, says Angel Campos at third. It's 0-2.
That's 9 0-2 counts for DeCaro in this ball game.
Everyone in Carolina blue to their feet. The 0-2. Foul back. DeCaro making what is very likely his last home start here at the Bosch. He is draft eligible, likely to be taken on day 1 of the Major League Baseball draft. The 3-year starter for North Carolina delivers. Swing and a miss. Inning over. Jason DeCaro. A punch out to end the 7th. 7 shutout innings of 2-hit ball with his team's season on the line. And North Carolina leading 4-0 as they come to bat in the 8th, and it does not look like he's gotten the handshake yet.
I don't think he wants it either. Says, I'm feeling it, let me go. At 89 pitches.
Just 8 pitches to get through the 7th inning. And 8, 9, and 1 due for USC in the 8th. And the new pitcher for USC. This is Rohan Kasanagotu, the freshman who has an unbelievably weird and awesome curveball. First pitch misses low, 1-0. Here's the story on the curve. It moves like a screwball. And apparently when they saw the data on it, Sean Allen was like, we need to change this pitch. And he said it to people in pro ball, and they were like, don't do anything. We've never seen anything like that. If the hitters can't hit it, let them throw it. And it is funky. I'm actually really excited to see this guy.
It's a high slot delivery, too. Fastball about 90 miles an hour. Looks like he has a split finger, too.
Cooper Nicholson leads off for North Carolina, and he rolls with the third and under the glove of Takeuchi into left field. A base hit. Coming up on Thursday night, Major League Baseball takes the stage on the eve of Omaha, 7 Eastern. It'll be the Mariners and Orioles from Balmer. Catch it on ESPN. You can also stream the game on the ESPN app. Carter French, the senior from Tampa, who's been a key role player the last 4 years for North Carolina, entered as a defensive replacement in the bottom of the 7th. Will bat with Nicholson at first, and he squares the bunt and takes down an in. It's 1-0. Seven sacrifice bunts on the season for French, who's always handled the bat well, and he's ahead 2-0.
Not only that, you can see kind of what Scott Forbes is thinking about. Just get another guy into scoring position. Try to get another run across the board.
Well, the more that they can score, the less reliant they will be on Caden Glauber today, which saves them potentially for tomorrow. And did it hit him? I think he said that he swung at it. Did they? Or did he get it hit?
They're saying that it hit him, but I was wondering if that. I think they're saying it was a strike. Okay, so it did hit him as he was going for the ball. Yeah. So that's what they're calling.
That's exactly what happened. And Scott Forbes giving the thumbs up, saying, "Okay, I got it."
That's what it looked like to me. It looked like he went after it as that ball hit him in the arm.
Ooh,
ricochet.
Got Kadira in a rough spot. 2-1.
Double hit.
Bunted in the air. Kadena makes the catch for out number 1. Big first down of the inning as French was trying to give himself up and couldn't move the runner along. And I'll turn the lineup over to Jake Schaffner. Nothing. North Carolina leads in the top of the 8th. Schaffner bunts in front of the plate. And they only play at first for out number 2. That was more a bunt for a hit, it seemed like. It just didn't execute it perfectly.
Yeah, he was trying to just drag bunt that to third. It just got around it just a little bit. They're trying to bump for a hit. Trying to bunt it to third, but that bat head just got out a little bit too parallel to home plate. That's going to make it bounce, go right to the pitcher, who's able to easily get him. But they do have now a runner in scoring position yet again.
You know, they have been able to chip in a couple of extra runs with sac flies late. Can Gallagher come up with a big 2-out hit? In the dirt, smothered by Kadena. It's 1-0. North Carolina has struggled in these spots. USC's pitching has been great in it, and if they can get out of this inning without allowing a run, you feel like you still have a chance. 8, 9, and 1 would be due against DeCaro in the 8th. The 1-0. Inside 2-0.
You got to be careful with Gavin Gallagher, though. He's a guy that usually does really big things when you're talking about playoff baseball. Regionals, super regionals. Moments never too hot for him.
2-0 the count. He swings and pops it up, foul, third base side. Takeuchi over, but it hits the netting above the dugout. That was a big swing, 2-0. Count 2-1.
He was trying to hit a 2-run homer on that one. That's where, when you're Scott Forbes too in those types of situations, saying base hit will work just as well. See if you can get the first base hit with runners in scoring position today.
The 2-1. Another big swing and another foul back by Gallagher. It's 2-2.
I mean, look at Gavin Gallagher and when he's hitting. This is what he's seeing on the defense. Basically, they're playing him straight pull of that 5-6 hole. So there's a lot of opening right back up the box.
He sends that one to center field and deep, going back out on Urban, still going back, and he hauls it in and face plants into the fence. A fine running catch by Walter Urban, and Carolina leaves another in scoring position here in the 8th. In the game for his defense, and Walter Urban saves a run with this great running grab. Through 7.5, it's 4-0 North Carolina as the Tar Heels try to save their season. KB Runes, here North Carolina is trusting Jason DeCaro to start the 8th inning. And he starts Dean Carpentier with a strike, 0-1. USC a win from Omaha. North Carolina trying to force game 3 in Supers tomorrow. And Jason DeCaro has been brilliant today. It's 0-2.
That's another 0-2 count. Make that 10 so far in a ball game where DeCaro has taken a batter to 0-2.
Missed inside. The 1-2. Called strike 3. Carpentier knew it. Strikeout number 6 for DeCaro, 1 out.
Boy, DeCaro just rolling. That's the curveball. After fastballs, here's a big curveball, bottom of the zone, strike 3.
One out for Walter Urban, the number 9 hitter. A strike, it's 0-1. 7 1/3 innings for DeCaro. One of the best starts of his college career in one of the most important games he's ever thrown. This has to be right up there with Game 1 in Omaha 2 years ago, maybe more important because their season was on the line.
I would put this as the most important. In Omaha, throwing Game 1, you know if you lose, you're still going to have another game. Here, there is no other game if you lose. Big-time performance from a big-time player.
The 0-2. This is high. Two fouled away by Urban. This is the most energized we've heard this North Carolina fan base over the last couple of innings. They finally have some things to cheer about. Feeling good about their chances after losing the opener. Down low, the count 2-2. The pitch, way outside, and the count is full. Pitch number 100 in the outing coming for Jason DeCaro. The payoff. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7. And 94 miles an hour, and Roy Williams loves it. 2 outs. 3 straight strikeouts for DeCaro.
This is just, here's my fastball, top of the zone. See if you can hit it. DeCaro right now, he is feeling it on the mound.
2 outs for Covarrubias. 0 for 3. Swings at the first pitch. Skies it to center field. Coming in, Hall calling for it. Squeezing. Inning over. 8 shutout innings of 2-hit ball in the books for Jason DeCaro. North Carolina trying to extend their season, leads USC 4-0.
ESPN 40-plus NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? We head to the ninth inning here in Chapel Hill. Jason DeCaro has been brilliant for North Carolina today. 8 shutout innings of 2-hit ball. And it does not look like he's received the handshake yet, Gabby, with the top of the order, heart of the order, I should say, for USC in the ninth. The top starter for 3 years in his final game in this ballpark. Looks like he might be heading back out there.
Yeah, I think right now Scott Forbes is looking at his offense saying, give me a couple more here so I can send him back out for the ninth, and then you don't have to worry about throwing anybody for the bullpen. You'll have everybody fresh for tomorrow if you're able to finish this game off.
Henry Chabot, the new pitcher for USC, and the first one in the dirt to Owen Hall. It's 1-0.
That's a really good curveball. Loves to throw it. Throws it 43% of the time. Got a good fastball, though, up to 93 miles an hour on that fastball.
Owen Hall leading off the inning for North Carolina. The pitch. Down low, 2-0. Okay, so earlier in the pen, Caden Glauber was up. The freshman of the year in the ACC. Their Swiss Army knife reliever. But now the 4-0 lead in the ninth. Do you think about going to him or to Walker McDuffie?
I would think that you would go McDuffie just because he's been in those moments and in those situations. Now, you can still have Glauber getting ready, because if all of a sudden McDuffie does get himself into a little bit of trouble, you could still bring him in. But I think the thought process right now, if you're Scott Forbes, is if you don't have to throw Glauber in this ball game, that means you're going to have him fresh for tomorrow's ball game, and he can pitch behind Boaz.
A strike in the count, 3-1 to Hall. I think that decision is easier if it's 5-0 or 6-0 than if it's 4-0, right?
Correct.
But the other part of it is McDuffie, who gave up the grand slam yesterday. I know Carolina fans are saying, yeah, but he got rocked. Listen, this is their guy, right? They need to get him back out there.
Yes, every once in a while you go out there and you get hit in the mouth. That's how you get up the next start. And he's done that very well in his career, where he can go out again today and just completely dominate. He left one pitch, a slider, that he just wasn't able to get around on, and it got hit. It happens.
3-2 the count to Hall, and he draws a leadoff walk. Good speed aboard to start the inning for North Carolina, leading 4-0 in the ninth. They'll bring up Macon Winslow, who delivered a sac fly his last trip. The DH 0 for 2 today. And North Carolina is going to use their final offensive timeout.
I wonder if this is a situation where it's just to kind of talk and say, hey, are we going to be able to steal a base here? Right? You're not going to tell Macon Winslow to go up there and sack bunt. It's going to more be, hey, we need to make sure that if we have the times right, let's get a good jump, see if we can get into scoring position. And
Hull is one of the best base stealers on the team. Here's a look at the left side of the bracket. That's the side we're playing on, the ones that get ready for Omaha on Friday. Auburn and Ole Miss about to start at the top of the hour. Troy currently leading Little Rock. West Virginia pounding Cal Poly, but they're in a weather delay. It looks like West Virginia will be heading to Omaha. They have a huge lead. 3 infielders to the left side for Winslow. Hall the lead. The first pitch bounces up, and it gets away from Cadena, and they won't need to worry about stealing a base because they get a free 90 on the wild pitch.
But how about Macon Winslow turning to bunt? Now, I don't know if this is, hey, you're going to show the bunt and bring it back right away and just take it to the catcher's eyes. It's something that I like to do when I was hitting for my base runners, where you show the bunt and then you basically just take the bat back right to the catcher's eyes so he can't see where that ball is coming from, and you end up getting something like that happen where the ball gets away and you get the extra 90. Now in this situation, I mean, I would say I don't see him bunting, but you know what? There is a situation where, hey, bunt him, get him over to third, sack fly, get him in, and you got that extra run that they were looking for.
They're over 6 with men in scoring position, but 2 big sack flies to help extend this lead. And Andy Stankiewicz coming out to talk to Chabot. And is this a move to the bullpen, or is this to talk about the defense that they want to set up in case Winslow does decide to sacrifice? He is going to the pen. Chabot out of the game. New pitcher coming in for USC. North Carolina with an insurance run at second. Nobody out top of the 9th. Leading 4-0 in game 2 of Supers. Gabby Sanchez, Mike Farron back in Chapel Hill at Boshamer Stadium. We've reached the 9th inning. North Carolina leading 4-0 as they try to even this. Before the game, we talked about to Scott Forbes, and he seemed very loose. Must have been because he knew Jason DeCaro was going to pitch really well today.
It was funny when we talked to him on the field. He was like, I'm good. And then you see DeCaro on the mound, and you're like, yeah, I guess you are good with how he's been able to throw the baseball today, going 8 innings. He had 11 0-2 counts to start off batters. I mean, doing that, you're going to have a lot of success. Not only that, too, keep that pitch count down. It looks like he's still going to be out there, though.
And with the season on the line for him to be able to do that, for USC, they have a new pitcher in. This is Garen Rizzo, a junior from Palos Verdes. And he really needs to keep this a 4-run deficit if USC has any hopes of coming back in the bottom of the 9th. Again, what's important here is that USC with a win would move on to their first trip to Omaha in 25 years. For North Carolina, it's their season. This is it. If they do not win today, the ACC would not have a team in Omaha for the first time since 2005. And the count 2-0 to Macon Winslow. And while it hasn't been a great offensive day for North Carolina, they have had a lot of chances. They have gotten the pitching that they needed to this point. And Winslow ahead 3-0.
And with Rizzo on the mound, it's for him to come in, throw a whole bunch of strikes. Not really a walk guy. Only 3 walks on the season and 8 innings of work. He's the guy that's all around the plate.
Ball 4. First 2 have reached for North Carolina in the 9th as they look to ice this one away. The Tar Heels' chants getting louder as Eric Paulson, who's already homered in this game and who won the most outstanding player in the Chapel Hill Regional, comes to the plate.
And against Rizzo, left-handed batters hitting 400 against him. They have an OPS of over 1,000.
Swing and a miss. A curveball, and he swung through it. It's 0-1.
That's very interesting with Aaron Paulson up the bat. I got to think that Scott Forms is saying, I don't know what you're doing, but I want you to swing the bat here.
He's laughing a little. You see him go, wow.
He's thinking the same thing we're thinking up here. What is going on right
The
now?
element of surprise. The big man's feeling it. Maybe he thinks he can pick him up and put him down.
Well, he definitely surprised everyone, especially his head coach.
0-2 on the ground, knocked down. Rizzo's only play will be to first. Well, that's as good as the sacrifice, as North Carolina puts 2 more in scoring position with 1 out in the 9th. That's what Paulson has done. 4 doubles, a home run today, and yet he was squaring to bunt. He may have just been feeling it. At any rate, he gets the runners over. And the infield will come in for Colin Heineck, who has homered in this game. He's got a pair of hits. North Carolina up 4-0 in the 9th. Outside 1-0. This is the 2nd inning. It started the scoring for North Carolina.
Oh, boy. That's a fastball in. He got all of it.
A strike on the outside corner, 1-1. And again, we cannot emphasize from North Carolina's standpoint how important a couple more insurance runs are, because it will all but ensure that they don't have to use their top multi-inning reliever in Caden Glauber today. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And while Folger Bohaz has plenty of experience as a Game 3 starter, Glauber is the guy that is the key. It's going to be Glauber and Drew Johnson for big chunks of the game tomorrow. And there's Glauber, the freshman. We have not seen him in this series yet. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. The pitch popped up, foul territory, first base side. Adrian Lopez with a big second out for USC here in the 9th. And I gotta feel like, Gabby, if you get out of this without any damage, if you're USC with your best hitters coming up, you feel like you've got a chance in this game. If DeCaro's going to go back out there for the 9th, he's been great to this point, but he's over 100 pitches.
And one of the other things that you have to look at in this type of situation, too, of course, we've seen what they've been able to do with runners in scoring position. It has not been good. Now, they have some sac flies, so they were able to score a couple. But do you walk Tyler Howe in this situation?
Well, they're not going to, and the first pitch is low.
Now, it could be that you're pitching to make him chase, even though that's a little bit dangerous with man on third. But told you about the numbers against lefties. Lefties hitting 400. They have a very high average. He's better against righties.
The freshman waits and takes to the dirt. It's 2-0. DeCaro has his glove. He is waiting to retake the mound at the bottom of the 9th. Trying to do it all himself to get North Carolina to a decisive Game 3 tomorrow. The 2-0 spins him off the plate. It's 3-0. North Carolina's created a ton of traffic. USC has bent but not broken really on the mound. The 3-0. Now takes a strike. It's 3-1. That run at third is big, and Andy Stankiewicz, USC's coach, knows it. He knows at 4 runs, 1 swing can change the game. Howe walks. Actually, it hit him, I think, and the bases are loaded.
There's a lot of times that, you know, I get with hitters staying in there, but on a 3-1 count, you're allowed to move. Don't get hit.
Yeah, you gotta play like you practice. You know, practice standing in there. You gotta do it all the time.
That's not me. I'd have been like, I'm going to get to first no matter what. Here we go. No, thank you.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 9th. And Sean Allen's going to trot out to the mound to talk to Rizzo.
Well, here's the thing. With Rizzo on the mound, there's nowhere to put anybody. You've got to be able to attack the zone and attack it early. If I'm Nicholson, I understand that and I know that. I'm going to look for the fastball, something that I can handle. I want to be aggressive early on because I guarantee what they're telling Rizzo is, hey, look, now this guy does have power, but you can't fall behind because then all of a sudden you're going to be a one-pitch pitcher, which is going to be, they're going to look for your fastball.
North Carolina has not had a hit with the bases loaded today. They have had lots of opportunities, in the Super Regional. They were 0 for 3 yesterday. Had the bases loaded, nobody out in the first. Had a couple of different opportunities today. Cooper Nicholson batting. First pitch, way outside of the breaking ball, 1-0. Nicholson has struggled with the bases loaded, hitless in his last 12 at-bats with the bags full.
If you're Nicholson, that's not what you're looking for. You're not looking for a painted breaking ball at the bottom of the zone. You're looking for something that you can handle, something that's out over. You want that fastball.
Leading home run hitter for North Carolina waits. And he swings and skies one to center. Urban is right there to make the catch, and Rizzo pitches out of the bases loaded jam. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Jason DeCaro heading back out, trying to shut the door for North Carolina and extend their season. USC trying to rally and end up in Omaha. Game 2 of Supers, the finale next. Take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance. It's Jason DeCaro. 8 shutout innings of 2-hit ball so far for the North Carolina.
Yeah, pretty easy one to put for the Capital One rewarding performance. Jason DeCaro has been outstanding on the mound.
He's going to have to go through the heart of the USC order. He has just crossed the 100-pitch mark. He has been in control, and the first pitch is fouled away by Adrian Lopez. It's 0-1. USC has not had a runner reach second base in this game. The 0-1. Lopez fouls it back. It's 0-2.
103 pitches, and he's still at 94 miles an hour.
Caden Glauber waiting. We told you yesterday he's going to play a key role in this Super Regional. We just don't know when. Bouncer towards the middle. Gallagher has it. Throws to first. 1 out in the 9th. Sends things to Bristol. Chris Budden and Mike Rooney. KB, UNC is 2 outs away from extending their season. Jason DeCaro working on a 2-hitter. Augie Lopez fouls it away. It's 0-1. USC rallied from a 5-1 deficit yesterday to stun North Carolina. The first game the Tar Heels have lost all season when they had a multi-run lead. Andy Stankowitz's team needs a miracle run here in the 9th to get even. Bouncer foul. It's 0-2. And Jason DeCaro is putting on the best performance of his 3-year career here at North Carolina. The 0-2. Curveball gets away. It's 1-2. Augie Lopez, a quiet day, 0 for 2 and it hit by a pitch in the 6th. The delivery, fouled away, still pumping 94.
And the thing is, he's not overthrowing. He's spotting these 94, right? Usually in these type of situations, guys are at 111 pitches and they're getting underneath, or 108 pitches, they're getting underneath and they're just trying to throw as hard as they can. He is still spotting these fastballs.
1-2. Missed inside. Scott Forbes wanted it, but it was in off the plate.
It was in.
Mike Morris has done a very fine job behind the plate, calling balls and strikes today. 2-2 into left. Coming in is Howe. The freshman makes the catch. 2 outs. DeCaro 1 out away from the first complete game 9-inning shutout in more than 4 years for North Carolina. The last chance for USC is Kevin Takeuchi. 0 for 3 today. North Carolina 1 out away from forcing a winner-take-all game to go to Omaha tomorrow. First pitch. Foul back. It's 0-1 at 95. The last pitcher to throw a shutout in an elimination game, you have to go to Kumar Rocker's no-hitter against Duke for Vanderbilt 7 years ago. The 0-1. Nothing in 2. And now DeCaro, who set a career high in pitches thrown, 1 strike away from a virtuoso performance with his season on the line. North Carolina 4, USC nothing. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. The 0-2. Fouled away again. The 0-2 again. Just missed. Ooh, Roy Williams thought they had it. The 1-2. Swinging a fly ball. Foul down the left field line. It's a long run over for Howe, and that one's out of play. Takeuchi doing a good job battling to try and keep USC alive here today. defeat at the Bosch. The 1-2. Fouled away again by Takeuchi. 96, the best fastball of the day from DeCaro.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what pitch he's at. 116, 111 was the most he had ever thrown in a game. At 116 now at 96 miles an hour.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. DeCaro keeps the Tar Heels season alive with a complete game 2-hit shutout. Absolute domination today from Jason DeCaro. USC didn't have a single base runner in scoring position, and North Carolina is forced to winner-take-all tomorrow, 4-0.
Utilizing the curveball to get the final swing and miss. What a performance by Jason DeCaro.
Roy Williams loved it. And there will be one more game at the Bosch tomorrow to decide who is going to Omaha.
When they needed him the most, we talked about it, the last two starts for DeCaro, not good at all. Only going 3 1/3 in both of those ball games. They needed him, though, back against the wall. Go to your starter, the guy who's been that Friday night starter all season long. And this is the performance that he has given the Tar Heel fans.
In what is very likely his final start in this ballpark, he will be drafted on the first day of this coming July's draft. Jason DeCaro with the greatest performance of his career and walking alone in front of his teammates back towards the dugout. A complete game 2-hit shutout. And the Omaha Dreams are alive for the Tar Heels after a 4-0 win. And he is soaking it all in. And we are about to be joined now by Jason DeCaro. Jason, Mike Farron, Gabby Sanchez. We saw you this morning with your teammates. You seemed pretty loose. How did you not get uptight at all with your season on the line?
Yeah, I mean, we knew we had to win 2 games no matter what this weekend, so just keeping that mindset even though we dropped yesterday. We believe in ourselves and we have a lot of confidence.
You had 14 0-2 counts to batters. Was the thought process just go straight into attack mode?
Absolutely, yeah. Just trying to go after them. We know they're a pretty aggressive bunch, so we figured we'd get ahead a good bit. I think you even saw that yesterday, even though they had some hits. So just continuing to do what we do well.
This is likely your last start in this ballpark. Saw you kind of soaking it in, walking off the field. What was that walk through the handshake line like, looking at the fans?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it's been the best time of my life, so just being able to come out here and give the team what we need, this is awesome for me.
That was an incredible performance. Jason, congratulations. You guys have another chance to go to Omaha tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jason DeCaro, complete game, 2-hit shutout. North Carolina defeats USC 4-0. Winner take all game here for a trip to Omaha tomorrow. Now for Gabby Sanchez and our entire crew here in Chapel Hill, I'm Mike Farron. Thank you for joining us for super regional coverage of the NCAA baseball tournament on ESPN. We now send things to Plainsman Park in Auburn, Alabama. Tom Hart and Todd Walker standing by for Auburn and Ole Miss Game 2. An absolutely memorable performance today for Jason DeCaro in his final start.